This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The top man of the state slams the Election Commission's poll date arrangement. According to sources, he's called it a hasty decision. Sources say the Congress and the DMK will finalize their seat-sharing numbers tonight. Ghulam Nabi Azad has landed for the third round of talks and is sitting in for one now. It's a problem of plenty, it seems, even as the Election Commission claims 99% of Tamil Nadu has voter IDs, but multiple cards are issued. Stop distribution of DMK government's free colour televisions immediately. The Election Commission warns district collectors. After joining Amma's team for the polls, Captain hits out at the DMK for corruption, says his first duty is to drive out the DMK. An 8-year-old girl is allegedly raped and murdered in Coimbatore city. Police arrest a relative neighbour of hers. And the Revenue Intelligence gets hold of 33 kilograms of the party drug ketamine worth 3 crore rupees. 2 smugglers are in custody. Hello and welcome to the Late Night News with me, Evelyn Matthew. A look at the other big stories tonight before we get into those stories in detail. Ireland's Kevin O'Brien becomes the fastest century hitter in World Cup history, scores his 100 in 50 balls. Libyan leader Gaddafi tries to calm tempers. He blames Al-Qaeda's sleeper cells for the unrest in the country. Huge explosions are reported in Tripoli as the US repositions its warships in preparation of possible emergency operations. After Salman Taseer, Pakistan's only Christian cabinet minister Shahbaz Bhatti is assassinated for opposing blasphemy laws. NDTV reports from inside Libya, an exclusive ground report from the east of the country, where Gaddafi loyalists are now advancing. Well, a day after the Election Commission's poll date announcement, Mr. Karunanidhi is quite upset, objecting to the election schedule set by S.Y. Qureshi yesterday. The Chief Minister now calls it a rather hasty announcement that did not count his view at all. Even though the heated polls of an early summer election is 42 days away, the Chief Minister is already sweating. He said in his DMK mouthpiece Murasoli that the gap between the voting and the counting dates are inexplicable and are just allowed for 3 days for the formation of the new government. Earlier today, the BJP and the left had also slammed the poll date arrangement as it coincided with the exams in the state as well as the Tamil New Year celebrations held around this time, thus impeding upon the festivities in the state. Karunanidhi has now questioned the rationale behind the poll panel's action. He added that the schedule gives political parties just 17 days for campaigning. Clearly, preparedness is going to be a factor that all politicians in the state are going to be spending sleepless nights thinking about. Tonight, more than anything else, could spell heaven and hell at the DMK headquarters as Ghulam Nabi Azad is sitting in for the talks that are underway as we speak. The All India Congress General Secretary and Tamil Nadu in charge is meeting his southern ally, the DMK, for what may be the last and final round of talks. It becomes even more imperative now for the alliance partners to decide on the crucial arithmetic between the two parties. And our senior editor Radhika Iyer joined us earlier with more details about whether the Chief Minister disapproval could now trigger a reconsideration of the dates altogether.
I have been speaking to senior journalists who've been covering the Election Commission as a beat itself for several years now. It will be historic indeed if the Election Commission would actually consider or reconsider or perhaps even change the dates of polling. However, with the Chief Minister saying that the state was not consulted on the dates and wanted to know the rationale behind the poll action, clearly means that the Chief Minister has decided to aggressively question the decision of the Election Commission. We are yet to know from sources. We have been asking asking them for more clarity, and they are to get back to us about whether the DMK and of course the Chief Minister in his capacity as the Chief of the State will actually file a formal complaint against or file a formal petition questioning the EC's decision. But it will be historic really, even if it is reconsidered. But for now, the Election Commission, what we hear from New Delhi is that they are very, very firm to make sure that Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry will go to polls on the same day, which is the 13th of April.
Well, those visuals coming to you from the airport where Ghulam Nabi Azad had in fact landed today in Chennai city. It is going to be a very crucial meeting that's really going to be taking place at the DMK headquarters. In fact, the one that's underway right now. The number game is what everybody will be eyeing, right from the political critics to right even from the opposition side. Let's in fact just go across to our senior correspondent Peer Muhammad, who joins us over the phone line. Peer, is the end of the number game really near? What's really happening there at the DMK headquarters where you are now?
Yes, the talks between the Congress leadership and DMK leadership is still on. It is almost 1 hour since Ghulam Nabi Azad has arrived at the DMK headquarters, Anna Arivalayam, and they have been still sorting out the issues because the poll dates are already announced. They are looking to conclude the talks and finalize the seat sharing, and that seems to be the motive behind this late night conversation between the leadership. Congress State Chief Thangabalu and the 5-member poll committee of the DMK, they are all in and they are discussing various issues. Whether the issue of share in power is figuring in the talks, we don't know exactly, which the DMK is unlikely, very highly unlikely to cede to that demand of the Congress, because they have been saying from the beginning that we can see that only after the election results. But the number of seats is another sticky issue, which they have been talking about, as far as we know from the top sources in the leadership of both the parties. They have been asking almost 90 seats, which is highly unlikely to be agreed upon by the DMK. DMK is offering anywhere between 50 and 60, but the Congress is asking for 60 to 70 seats. But anyhow, they will be finalizing the deal tomorrow because they don't have much time. As Chief Minister and the DMK Chief has rightly pointed out in his letter to the party cadre that in the next few days they will be finalizing all the alliances seat sharing, because they don't have much time to prepare for the elections and go for the campaign. We can expect some kind of positive results at the end of this discussion between the leaders.
All right. So are you suggesting then, Pete, maybe tomorrow is perhaps when that official announcement will be made to the public and to the press persons?
Yeah, we can expect the decision to be announced today, because all the media, national media, are asked to wait at the DMK headquarters, which means also the Congress General Secretary and Tamil Nadu in charge, Ghulam Nabi Azad, is expected to leave the city by early morning tomorrow, which means they will somehow, even if it is delayed, because there are occasions when the talks went on for several hours, then they arrived at the decision even at the dead of the night. That could happen. We can. This may be prolonged, but a decision is likely, because the DMK is also on a sticky wicket, particularly under the cloud of the 2G scam now, and they have to also compromise on certain aspects. So we can expect a result, some kind of positive result, even if it is late tonight.
Right. This could be one of those nights, is what Peer that joins us and tells us. Thanks very much indeed, Peer Muhammad, for joining us over the phone line with your inputs there. Clearly, there's no escaping the pressure now for the DMK, which will have to settle on the numbers in the hours to come, settle for even the poll dates even, and play by the rules of the Election Commission, as the body today cracked the whip on the state government, directing it to stop its flagship free colour television program. Sam Daniel reports.
The DMK's flagship scheme to distribute free colour televisions now on hold. One of the poll promises that brought the DMK to power in the assembly elections in 2006 stopped after election dates in Tamil Nadu were announced. The Karunanidhi government has already spent Rs 4,000 crores to give away 1.62 crore colour television sets. But with polls less than a month away, 8 lakh sets are yet to be distributed. Although it's an ongoing old program, the Election Commission says this scheme cannot be allowed as it will influence new beneficiaries.
People will be very particular that DMK government should come back to power, then only they can receive these welfare measures. For this announcement, I'm really very thankful to the Election Commission for this.
It's not just color TVs. The ruling DMK has taken freebies to an unprecedented level. 3 lakh concrete houses for those in huts at 2,250 crore rupees. Free medical insurance for 1 crore families at 500 crore rupees every year. 8 lakh LPG stoves at 160 crore rupees. And a 2-acre plot for landless farmers. So, no more color TVs for now. But with the DMK gunning for a second term and AIADMK chief Jayalalitha determined to wrest power, Tamil Nadu seems all set for an all-new soap opera. In Chennai with camera person Sukumar, Sam Daniel, Findy TV.
Well, still ahead on the late night news. Meet the Glee Club of the Madras School of Economics. Pranam Babu's generous allocation allows bigger plans for the Premier Institute.